Hi, friend. Welcome to Holly's Highlights, a podcast designed to encourage, inspire, and equip you to intentionally live your life full of purpose. I'm your host, Holly Kirby, motivational speaker, leadership cultivator, marketing strategist, and personal cheerleader. Let's check out today's highlight. We recently celebrated the second anniversary of the release of Facelift, Embracing Hope Through Your Heartaches, and what an incredible journey it's been. Since then, Facelift has gone on to receive 9 awards, been highlighted by media outlets, and received support from many, including a special shout out from the CEO of Chick-fil-A Inc., Dan Cathy, former Women of Faith speaker Thelma Wells, and world traveler and author Garrett Gravison. But more than accolades, it's the stories that continue to pour in. Emails from readers who say the book encouraged them, gave them hope, and reminded them they're not alone. That is what means the most. Facelift also sparked something greater, the birth of this podcast, Holly's Highlights, which now ranks in the top 5% of podcasts globally and inspired a monthly column in city journals. This platform has opened the door to speaking opportunities all across the U.S., a chance to share, connect, and uplift others in person. It's been humbling, energizing, and deeply rewarding. Thank you to everyone who supported, shared, and been a part of this journey. To God be all glory, great things He has done. If you haven't yet, I invite you to read Facelift and discover what's possible when you dare to embrace purpose and hope. Listen to Holly's Highlights podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to the email list for monthly encouragement, updates, and inspiration. Just visit www.hollycurby.com. That's HOLLYCURBY.com. Hello, my friends. Today's episode is a deeply personal one, but I believe its message is for anyone striving to live with intention, faith, and resilience. Today, I want to honor someone very special to me, someone who changed my life 18 years ago, my daughter, who today turned 18 years old. Now, she just became an adult in the eyes of the world, but if you've ever met her, you know she's been carrying the heart of a wise, grounded woman for quite some time. 18 years. It seems like a blink, and yet it's been a lifetime of moments, of memories, of miracles. Watching her grow and doing life with her has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. But this isn't just a celebration of age. This is a celebration of who she is. She's mature than her years. Where others see challenges, she sees opportunities to rise. When life has tested her, and it has, she has met each trial not with fear, but with faith. She has faced hardships, moments that would shake most, and yet she stood tall. Not because she had all the answers, but because she trusted the one who does. She's been brave in ways that I hope one day to match, with a kind of quiet bravery too that doesn't shout, but stands firm. She's courageous, not because she has no fear, but because she moves forward in spite of it. She is without question a solid young woman of the Lord, not in name only, but in lifestyle, in leadership, in love. Her faith isn't just something she wears on Sundays. It's woven into every decision she makes, every action, every word she speaks. Her walk with God is real, and it shows. Her spiritual maturity is one of the greatest blessings I've witnessed. She listens for God's voice, and more importantly, she obeys it. And let me tell you, she works hard. Her work ethic is ironclad, and not for applause, not for reward, but because excellence matters to her. Integrity matters to her. She shows up early, she stays late, and she doesn't need a stage to do her best. She does it for the Lord. And in a world chasing attention, she chases excellence. She does what's right, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. That's character. And she leads naturally, effortlessly. She's a natural leader, not by force or pushing others forward, and not by ego, but by example as she lifts others up. People follow her not because they have to, but because they want to, because her life calls others higher. Her life speaks, and people just listen. This is a tribute to her, but also a letter to all of us, because her life so far carries lessons we all need. This is a celebration, a reflection, and a challenge to live with courage, faith, and integrity. So today I want to draw from her life 5 takeaways principles that can guide anyone who wants to live with purpose. Number 1, Proverbs 9:10 tells us, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." Wisdom begins with wonder. Maturity isn't something that just happens. It's cultivated through wonder, humility, and reverence. My daughter has never steered away from asking questions. In fact, when she was 3 years old, she asked me to sit beside her on her bed one evening as she had something to ask me. And then she proceeded to look quite intently up at me and ask, "Why are you in charge?" 3 years old. Now, the flip side of these questions, though, is she's brave enough to wait for real answers. I've watched her stay up late into the night studying her Bible, pray when no one asked her to, and seek counsel when others her age would have rather pretend to know it all. That's wisdom. Make space for wandering, my friends. Ask the hard questions. I'd encourage you to read one chapter of Proverbs this week, just one a day. I've known people who take Proverbs and read a chapter a day for a month, as it does have 31 chapters in it. But whichever you choose, let it speak to you. Let it grow you. And if you want to dive deeper in wisdom, might I even suggest Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life, which is a 40-day journey that deepens spiritual purpose and clarity. Number 2, Mary Ann Radmacher said, "Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, 'I will try again tomorrow.'" Courage is quiet and often unseen. See, we often think of courage as loud, dramatic, and bold, but the bravest moments in my daughter's life have been the silent ones, the kind no one else sees. There were seasons when she had every right to crumble, but instead she stood, and she stood tall. And when she couldn't stand, she knelt in prayer. So I'd encourage you to ask yourself, where do I need to be quietly courageous right now? Maybe it's making a tough decision. Maybe it's forgiving someone. Maybe it's showing up when you just feel empty. A book I've enjoyed is 10 Seconds of Insane Courage by Garrett Gravison. Perhaps it may bring some encouragement to you too in this area. Number 3, Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters." Build your life on the rock, not the applause. We live in a world addicted to recognition, but my daughter, she works with devotion whether there's a stage or not. A couple of years ago, she went on a missions trip to Guatemala, and upon coming back home, everyone commented what a workhorse she was, that she easily ran laps around the men of the group, even with her heavy lifting and everything that had to be done. She never complained and had such a positive attitude in the midst of it all. She was entrusted with even keys to the store where she worked when she was 15 years old. I've seen my daughter finish tasks long after others quit, and serve with joy when no one thanked her. This girl truly does all for the glory of God, not for the applause of man. Well, we too can reflect on her example and examining our motives. This week, do something excellent, something unnoticed, and dedicate it to God. Let your private life be the proof of your character, not for applause, but simply as part of your integrity, your character, and from your heart. I think the greatest resource for this one is, simply put, the Bible. Until we come to have a personal relationship with the Lord, I'm not sure we fully understand doing everything for the Lord instead of for man. Although there are many resources I'm sure you can turn to for servant leadership, there are a few others that you can look at here on Holly's Highlights, other episodes, or even books like Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek and The World's Most Powerful Leadership Principle by James C. Hunter. Number 4, Song of Solomon 4:7 says, "You are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you." Let God define your identity. My daughter walks in confidence, not because she believes she's perfect, but because she knows whose she is. There was a time when I worried the world would try to define her worth. I'm pretty sure it was from the moment she was in my womb. I have prayed over her every night she went to bed that she would be a solid woman of the Lord, a woman after God's own heart, and that she would live confidently in whose she is. I tell you, this girl has rooted herself in Scripture, in truth, and it shows. I am inspired by her. Where are you getting your worth from? Take 10 minutes this week to write down every identity label you've carried, and then lay them before God. Remember, you were created in His image. He loves you. He values you just as you are. Rachel Hollis is known for encouraging in this area with her book, Girl, Wash Your Face. And I like Elizabeth George's book, A Woman After God's Own Heart. Now, number 5, John C. Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Leadership is a life of lifting others. My daughter doesn't try to lead. She simply lives in such a way that people are drawn to follow. When she was younger, I'd look out the window to see her standing on a cooler, giving instructions to all of her neighborhood friends who sat on the grass staring up at her, captivated by her every word. Her life has been filled with being the leader. In school, on her sports teams, it just comes natural to her. She is a servant leader, though, a listener, a builder, a true leader. Watching her mentor young girls and lead with grace and navigate conflict with kindness has taught me how to lead better. So I'd encourage you to ask yourself, who's watching me live? How can I lift someone else this week? Not with advice, but with presence. If you want to go deeper here, Lead Like It Matters by Craig Groeschel is a great option. He actually does a lot of things on leadership, which would be really good to look into. But for anyone who feels called to influence others with faith, humility, and grit, he's a great resource to have. Wisdom, courage, grounded, confident, a leader. Yes, all 5 of those fit my baby girl quite well and set examples for us, young and old. Now, to my daughter, thank you. Thank you for reminding me what faith looks like in motion, for showing me what's possible when grace and grit walk hand in hand, for being my best friend and allowing me to be yours for so many years, and for being every single day the woman God created you to be. And to you, listener, if you're listening today and saw yourself in such descriptions, might I encourage you to keep going? And if you didn't, but you want to, start today. You were made for this, made to grow deeper, to live braver, to lead humbler, and to love harder. I'd encourage us to take away 3 things today. Number 1, reflect. What's one area in your life that needs a shift? From fear to faith or from noise to purpose? Number 2, act. Choose one of today's resources and then commit to it this week. And number 3, honor. Take a moment to encourage someone in your life who's living well. Speak life into them. It truly could change everything. Of course, I welcome you to listen to other related episodes here on Holly's Highlights podcast, from why we celebrate our birthdays in season 3, how to be a leader others follow in season 1, and everything in between, leaving our legacy, developing a personal mission statement, and so much more. Simply scroll through the over 125 episodes to find episodes that pique your interest. If you have a suggestion for an episode to cover, feel free to reach out to me at hello@hollykirby.com, or just simply go on to Facebook or Instagram and send me a message there. Or you can even start at number 1 in the podcast series and continue on. Either way, thanks for joining me today. And until next time, happy birthday, Gator Girl. I love you with all of my heart. You truly are my heart's desire, and I am so proud of you. Thank you for joining me on this journey of life. I hope that today's highlight has been encouraging, inspiring, and equipping so you can go out and live your life full of purpose. I'd be honored if you'd take a moment to leave a review, or better yet, subscribe. We can also stay in touch by joining my email list at hollykirby.com. That's HOLLYCURBY.com. Until next time, make it a great day for a great day.